We beat Liverpool at Anfield a couple of weeks ago, and you couldn't see that either. Now, I'm not going to do my score prediction
Here we
yet,
go, everyone.
because otherwise you'll want to railroad it and
can't
go
let
against
it go.
it. No.
He thinks he's some
But I will
oracle
say-
because he got
No.
the Anfield thing predicted.
No. It's not about the Anfield thing predicted. It's about the fact that Forest, over the course of the last 3 seasons, have surprised a lot of people. Man United at home, Newcastle away, Liverpool away, Liverpool at home, Man City draw late at home. Treble winners that season. Don't come to me with this nonsense. Arsenal at home, last day of the season. I believe in my team. I don't care if we had a bad game this weekend. That'll shock us into system and hopefully shock Nuno into system as well. Don't sit there and tell me you're writing the game against Chelsea off. Chelsea aren't that good. They've just spent a load of money like Man United when Brendan Johnson destroyed them today, by the way. Love that. Sit back, relax, and welcome the fact that we'll go to the bridge, we'll sit in that London stadium, and we will watch Forest compete. Do not write that game off, Matt. Do not write that game off. Write it off at your peril, my friend. Write it off at your peril. So, for the Forest All Over the World section to start today, we'll let Matt take over and host for a second, and then I'll come back in with the round robin. Matt, go for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really going to host. I wanted to offer my gratitude and condolences, I guess, to Ross, who came on the pod for the Fulham preview with myself. I couldn't stop thinking about what him and he went to the Forest game with his dad, who's a Man United fan, for his dad's birthday, and he'd come over from Texas for it, and I just felt really bad that we weren't able to offer much than a 1-0 defeat to Fulham, because it wasn't like the worst thing in the world, but it was just a shame for the fans, and for fans like Ross, that's all that was served up.
Look, I'm going to cut you off. That is a nice thing, but as you know, when I went over to the Luton game a year ago with you, and we drew 2-2, and it was a late draw, and we were a bit upset by it all. Do you know what? Jordan from Toronto reached out to me and said, you know what? Did you meet some good people? I said, yeah. He goes, it's all about the people. It's all about the people. So I sent back that exact same thing to Ross. He had a great time despite not seeing a goal, despite seeing a terrible Fulham Forest game. But he did have a really good time, and he was great in the podcast. So I'm going to jump into the round robin before we waste anyone else's time. Ross knows I've been reaching out to him. It's all good. Get on with it. Is that what you're going to tell me? Don't need to.
Yes, I am. Yep.
We have Chris from the Sydney Supporters Group who was watching the game on Saturday night at Cheers Bar. So anyone down under, give a shout out to Chris. Check him out. Chris was reaching out to me, not me, another Chris. We've got Amanda, Nottingham born and bred, but living in Poland. I'm a big Forest Focus podcast fan, is what she said, but I think Chris is a great guest when he's on, so started watching this pod. This bickering between you guys is, I don't know what the rest is, but anyway, I'm going on and on. But thank you, Amanda. That's very, very kind from Poland. And now we have Manuel Lawrence, who was watching the Red Dogs in Bangtao, Phuket.
Oh, God, why don't you prepare this stuff every week? Go on.
What have I not prepared? You haven't spoke about Chris in Australia. You haven't spoke about Amanda in Poland. You haven't spoke about Manuel. You're waiting for me to finish, and you're saying absolutely nothing. All right?
I'm letting you get through it, but you're just stuttering
I'm through it
like you're sight reading it for the first time.
Well, okay, what do you want to get into now? There's the Forest All Over the World section, ladies and gentlemen.
Manuel,
We're done.
read Manuel's thing, but like...
I did read it.
So where did he watch it? In Phuket, did he say?
Yes.
That's class.
Well, just give a class to everyone. We'll go for Ross, we'll go for Chris, we'll go for Amanda, we'll go for Manuel, we'll go for Poland, Sydney, Texas, and back to Phuket, and we'll move on. Congratulations, everyone. Matt has ruined the Forest All Over the World thing again, once again. And this weekend is ruined by Fulham, VAR, some dodgy penalty decisions or non-decisions, and the fact that I have to now relive the game with Matt, who only watched the highlights. Anything to say, Matt?
You ruined your own round the world section by not preparing, but let's move on from it and not get into that. Right. There is some saving grace with us losing to Fulham, right? We have all, as a group of listeners, been sick and tired of your gloating about guessing the game. So, weirdly, thank God, there's a perverse sense of glee that some of us feel. We'd still rather have been on getting a point at least, or getting a win against Fulham. But the fact that we didn't win 2-1 to satisfy your ego is some light relief, Chris. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. I'm not the only one who thinks that.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. I knew I was coming on this podcast today. I knew I was coming on, and I knew you were going to be happy that I didn't predict the score, even though we lost. And I knew you were going to be happy that we get to do a blame game because we haven't done one all season because we've been undefeated, and we should be positive about that. But you just can't help yourself. And I knew that was going to happen. You're so predictable. But yeah, carry on. Anything else to say?
Yeah. On a more serious note, I'm a bit gutted, to be honest. I'm just a bit gutted.
Of course. You're gutted. On a serious note, I'm gutted. Yeah, you are. Why are you gutted? Go on.
On a serious note, the reason I'm gutted is because we needed to show our squad. Our team needed to be able to prove that they could do well without Morgan. It's become a bit like the Morgan Gibbs-White story this past week, and him going to England, as having him sent off. Who will replace him in the number 10? And of course, we didn't sort of do a like-for-like swap. So it's sadly got to the point where it's looking, I don't know, I just imagine it just doesn't feel that healthy. Feels like it's now, he really is our main talisman, but I just don't think that's a good approach. I think it would have been a great opportunity to see if someone could replace him in that position. But we had two up top, an interesting choice, and yeah, I must admit, I don't think that there should have been penalties, but I don't think the Fulham one should have been a penalty. And because the Fulham one was, and I've listened to the pundits discussing this, the pro pundits, I haven't had much chance to listen to a lot of the Forest fans' feedback on all this, but I cannot believe the way some of them are going, yeah, it's not for me. That one on Alanga. He swipes his foot. I don't know what the argument is. And Murillo so gently accidentally gets the back of that guy's heel. I mean, yeah, okay, that's a penalty. But then so was Alanga's. Was Taiwo's? I guess it was. They were talking about how the game's gone, if that's a pen. They get given all the time. And yeah, the game's gone. The game's gone because people get to cheat and waste time. Players do, the game is gone because referees are inconsistent and rubbish. And because VAR is a load of nonsense. Because the offside rule is so piss poor and unwilling to evolve. The game may have gone, but it hasn't gone because they give Taiwo a penalty for that instance or because they give Alanga one for the guy taking his heel out. Tell me I'm wrong?
No, I think you're right. Funny enough, I think you're right. I think...
You think I'm right?
There was also another penalty later on, just to be clear. A penalty shout for Fulham that Murillo bundled the player over in the box, and I don't know if that was one. Here's my thing.
It wasn't. The guy dived over. He should have been yellowed for diving. I don't know.
I'm saying just relax.
No, I'm relaxed, mate. I'm relaxed.
No, you're not. You're jumping. I've let you talk for 2 or 3 minutes and you ask me a question and I can't even answer it. You're worse than me, right?
No, I'm not. No, you just don't know how to have a conversation. You're so used to just doing monologue. Let's have a conversation.
Okay, you asked the question. Do you want me to answer it?
No, go on. No, you just quickly said, I don't know if that other one... that Murillo pushed him was off. And I'm saying, no, I think...
asked a question. And then I went on and went into a tangent about the Murillo one. Okay, we'll finish the Murillo one, the second Murillo one first. Was that a penalty, yes or no? The second Murillo one.
No, the guy dived. Watch it in replay. He's going over before there's any contact. He's completely looking for it.
Okay, fine.
He should be yellow carded. Should be VAR. Should be coming in and going, that guy's diving.
Okay, so I'll accept that, right? I'll accept that that was... He kind of went over soft and that wasn't a penalty. I probably thought it wasn't either. He didn't go over soft.
He threw his body weight. He's thrown himself forward before the contact.
But we don't need... I can't believe there's 2 big penalty decisions in this game and we're talking about the one that everyone's least talking about, not even the Taiwo one. I shouldn't have mentioned it. I've led you down the merry road. Just listen for a second, all right? Yes, we can have a conversation, but the conversation was about the 2 penalty incidents. Right? Here's a question. Was the Alanga one more of a penalty than the Andreas Pereira one?
Well, by the rant I've just done at the beginning there. Absolutely.
You don't need to stand by it. Just was it? Just give me a yes or no.
Yes.
I agree. I think Alanga was turning to shoot and he was swiped and his ankle twisted, went over. It was soft, but it was a penalty. I agree.
Yeah, but he kicked through his
foot. It was really soft. It was really the ball was going away. There was 3 defenders in front. He didn't he accidentally stood on his... Honestly, I just don't... Sometimes I think the game's gone. But then 10 minutes later or whatever it was, when Alanga was brought in, I thought, well, they'll send the ref to the screen for that, and they didn't. You can't.
I love
said
that
this
phrase.
before.
Let's talk. I love this. The game's gone phrase that everyone says. Because here we all
Game's
still
gone.
are. The game's gone, and yet every week
It's a
we're
good
recording.
phrase.
We're using our weekend time to do a YouTube podcast and go to games and watch it. The game's gone. The game's gone. Yeah.
The game's
We've
gone.
gone with it. We've gone
The
with
game's
it.
gone. Yeah, I know. No, look, the VAR, we've talked about it, and so has everyone so many times. But I think with these specific incidents, I've said this I said it on Forest Focus at the weekend. You can't send the referee to the screen for one and not send him for the other. I've said that. You just can't. You can't do that. It doesn't make sense to me. They're both soft, but if you're going to send it to the screen, you send it to the screen for both. That's where I stand. Matt, you have your say, because everyone's heard me say that before. Go.
What
Finish
about
it
not
off.
going to the screen for both?
Yeah, well, what do you think of
Well, yeah,
the
this is just an
decision-making?
extension of
Because it
what
wasn't
we
the
just
referee's. I don't think it was the referee's fault. I think the referee seeing the thing slow down, I understand why he gave the Pereira penalty, even though it was soft, but he didn't get a chance to see the other one, the Yelanga one, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is an extension of what we were saying before, and it's it's insane that they didn't go again. It's more insane that it's not called out at a higher level, though. Like, it's so fickle. This whole thing is just nonsense. We're gonna have to move on from this point because it's infuriating that they didn't check that and they did check the other. I mean, but I watched the match of the day bit, and they sort of said on that Michael Richards, and Gary Lineker and Theo Walcott were all like, yeah, said it was all fine. I was just like, I don't get it. I mean, maybe because they're players, they're imagining themselves in those situations. But then I'd like them to have. What is it that's different about Murillo's toe going on that guy's heel? I don't even know the player that got taken down in our box.
I think it was Pereira, yeah.
It's just such cherry picking of the interpretation of such a what do you call it? Spectrum. It's a whole spectrum of versions and interpretations of it that it just gets really. They're so willing to be that. That's what I mean about the offside thing. It's so it's definite and it's finite to, as everyone said now for a few years, a toenail or a part of someone's shirt is what the digital measuring, even if it's semi-automated and all that, it's measuring it on a hard line. And my argument is fundamentally that's a bad way for it to be measured. We're not talking about that at the moment. But therefore, there are so many other things like the accidental handball, deliberate handball, and then this thing we're talking about now. Where's the barometer and the measure? It's just interpretation. So if, let's say we all have to just accept that it's interpretation by the referee on the day, well then, it's just outrageous that our managers can get fined and our players can get fined and suspended, and referees literally just go into a hole. They just go into a hole when they make colossal, inconsistent mistakes. They've got no humility. I just don't understand the big bubble of protection around that whole organisation. I don't get it. I need them to show me. I want to see, look at the abuse they get and look what it does to their lives. And I don't mean tweets of horrible stuff being said by fans. I don't think that is good, but it's going to happen. I just don't. It's just an infuriating thing as a fan to know that these referees seem to. It's just, I mean, we just keep saying the same thing. They say the same thing, and there's no accountability.
Do you know
weird.
what? I think
it's such a bizarre.
Could I cut you off there for
entity.
a second, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to cut you off. Yeah.
Please cut me off.
The
I'm bored of
accountability
myself,
thing, I
mate.
think,
I'm bored of what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I can tell you're bored of what you're saying. You're
So
rambling.
cut me off.
To cut you off, I think the accountability thing I've seen, and a lot of people have posted stuff online about this and said, why not get the refs to have to come and talk about big decisions after the game? You see it in basketball. They talk into a microphone when they're making a big decision and they say the reason why, so the whole arena knows this is why they're giving that foul. I don't think we should do it throughout the game, but I think afterwards they can come and talk about it. I think it's fine for referees to make mistakes. I think the referees are under a huge
but it's the
amount of
lack
pressure.
of ownership and humility about it.
No, but not from all of them. I'm just saying, I think for us,
From all of
right
them.
now, we're in it. Just shut up! For us right now, we're in it. I believe that you look at last week, I felt that was a good tackle. I don't care if people think it was reckless. I think it was a good tackle. He got the ball with both legs first. Yes, Joe Pedro's leg got dropped, but I actually think it was a good tackle and wasn't a yellow card. And Rob Jones thought so initially until something else happened, and we all know what happened after that. So we're on the back of a really bad decision last week that has affected this week because Gibbs White couldn't play. And now we're on the back of like 2 penalty decisions that are very similar. One is given, it affects our game. As soon as Fulham score, the game changes. And the other one wasn't given.
Well,
That's
like
the
you
big
said,
problem.
They're also the system that's implemented, whether the guy got sent to the monitor on one and not the other. That's what I'm trying to say. So you know what I mean? It's there's an inconsistent set of procedures going on now throughout one game. Yeah. Let's move on because I
have
think
to
we've
move on. We've been 12, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
on this.
we've talked about that.
Well, let's look. I actually do want to talk about the game. I actually want to talk about why we lost, not just because of that one inconsistency, which was a problem. I want to talk about the reason we lost the game. The penalty definitely changes the game. The moment Fulham go 1-0 up in that second half, space opens up because we're chasing the game and the game plan changes, whatever the game plan seemed to be. But let's go back to the start. Let's rewind back to the beginning. Why are you rolling your eyes at me? No, just tell me why you're rolling your eyes at me then.
Yes, actually, I'm not rolling my eyes at you. I'm rolling my eyes because maybe I would have edited that and made it an actual rewind sound.
You don't think about that. Back to the beginning, and we'll talk about the setup, the predicted lineup, the lineup that we saw, and what you thought about it. Taiwo up top with Chris Wood, what looked like a 4-4-2 or a 4-1-3-2, whatever it was. It wasn't something we've really played before this season because it was 2 strikers up top. What were your initial thoughts with that when you saw the lineup before the game?
Well, in terms of Forest Fantasy 5s, I was just like, oh, wow, that's screwed everyone over.
Talk to me about your Forest Fantasy 5s football game. Just tell me, as a fan, seeing the predicted lineup, it's a really simple answer.
Yeah.
I love you, but jeez.
I just thought that I just knew it wasn't going to work. Don't know why. All I was doing was clinging onto like dreams and hopes that Taiwo was going to have this big comeback, and it's like, I don't know what it was. I really liked Dominguez. Glad he got a game. What did I think? I just was expecting to see Elanga and Callum Hudson-Odoi or Sosa or Jota Silva. None of those 4 started, and I think we need that for being penetrative and on the front foot. That's what I guess I was thinking.
So none of the 4 wingers were on the pitch, and you were kind of thinking alarm bells there. We don't have any potency.
More just like this sense of deflation and like this doesn't feel. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like our best. I just don't know. It just didn't feel like it felt very defensive and very. What's the opposite of confident? What's the opposite of confident?
Skeptical, no, not skeptical. Pessimistic. I don't know.
Nervous, defensive. What the hell is the opposite of confidence? A lack of.
What's the opposite of confident?
Yeah.
Not confident? Sorry, I'm asking the camera. Right.
Yeah.
Someone can write that in for us there.
Camera.
Listen. Camera. Listen. Yeah, we didn't feel confident going into the game. We didn't put our best foot forward, I don't think. But you didn't watch the whole game, did you? Or did you watch it back?
No, I haven't had time to watch it back. I haven't had time. Sadly.
So I did watch it, right?
Watch the whole thing back. I'll watch all the highlights.
You did. I know you watched the highlights and all the content after because you were busy, you were working. But I'll tell you one thing. I watched the whole first half, and at the end of the first half, I genuinely was like, the game plan's working because it was stifling Fulham. And I know people don't want to go into games like that, but when we're missing pretty much an entire midfield, you know, Sangari's been out the last couple of games. He was good when he first came in the first 3 games, and we're missing Morgan Gibbs-White. Obviously, I think maybe Hudson-Odoi and Elanga were carrying a knock. I don't know, but it felt like they were because, you know, it's strange that one of them wouldn't be starting in a home game. You have to look at that first half and think we stopped their players from playing Iwobi, Smith-Rowe, Traore, Raul Jimenez. Those were players that you were naming last week, talking about how afraid you were of them. And Nuno set up and stopped that. And we did have a couple of chances. Wood had a disallowed goal, which was offside, and the ball probably crossed the line. No, but there was a couple of chances. We weren't playing beautiful football by any stretch of the imagination. But at half time, if we'd gone in 1-0 up, I would have thought, yeah, we've kind of like robbed the bank a little bit, but we've stopped them from playing and had a chance and put it away, which is kind of what they did second half. So I'm just trying to say, I don't think the game plan first half was terrible. I just think he panicked, put Elanga on at half time. Maybe that was the game plan all along, and then when they scored, he really panicked. And the game got stretched, and after that, it disappeared out the window. It felt like Brighton last week, where we panicked at halftime, threw 3 subs on. That was the thing for me. And, the subs didn't work. Sosa was really poor when he came on. And, you should have seen him. Every touch he had was just rusty. It was drifting off and foul throws, left, right, centre. I just feel like the game plan second half didn't work. First half did work initially. And then I wanted to put it on them second half, and we just didn't. So it's a really frustrating game.
Are you disappointed?
It's a really frustrating game.
Are you a bit disappointed with the players and with Nuno that they didn't lay a glove in the second half? We're clinging on to these blooming penalty decisions as chance. That's the problem as well. Yeah, we said what we said about inconsistencies with the refs and the annoyances, but what about Forest and Nuno? Let's play a bit of blame game. Let's get on to blame game because we're running out of time and we need to do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and who are you hitting us with, Chris?
I blame VAR for that decision. It changed the game.
Stop blaming referees and VAR. You're not having that this time. I want a Forest player. I want a Forest player.
Okay, Elanga for second half, end product, couple of balls, one across the box, didn't work out, had a couple of chances. Chris Wood laid a lovely ball off to him before the penalty shout, and his first touch let him down, brought him into the defender, and that's when he bundled up. And obviously it should have been a penalty, but still, Elanga for his final product. That's my first one there. You're next.
So Elanga is currently winning blame game this week. It'll be the first time he's won it if he wins this week. So we're going for Anthony Elanga. Go on. Wow, that's sad.
Yeah, do you have anyone, or you didn't watch the game?
So you've got to say Murillo because he gave away the penalty.
No, because Murillo had a brilliant game. You don't understand. Him and Milenkovic were brilliant back there. In fact, I thought our only creative thing was going to come from Murillo later because he was so good. He was brilliant.
All right.
He gave away the penalty, but it was soft, as you said earlier. We're not having that. Put him out of the blame game. He doesn't deserve to be in there.
Okay, so we've got Elanga. I mean, it can't be Callum Hudson-Odoi because I know we missed that chance, but he got himself the chance, and it was so close to being another spectacular from him. Or how much of a good game did Cho have when he came on?
I tell you what, Hudson-Odoi did the same thing, and he cut in and he nearly scored just after that penalty incident. I'm going to VAR as well. I'm sorry, but you can't send one without the other. That's my thing. VAR are in the blame game, and they're in there whether you like it or not. Okay? Actually, Nuno's in the blame game. Game plan wasn't good. Wasn't confident going into the game. He set up wrong. I mean, I thought he set up right, but he didn't play the in-game management game right. So
it does
overall,
feel a bit like a tactical setup issue, I think. I think he got it wrong for the first time this season. And I'm on board with maybe. Sometimes don't want you giving the managers the blame game trophy, the wooden spoon, but I think on this occasion it just feels. I mean, I don't feel Elanga is just, is it?
Elanga was. Sorry to cut you off because the music's going to end soon.
Yeah.
Elanga was played out of position initially. I think they put him in a 10 when he first came on, so can't fully blame him for all that. I'm going to give it to Nuno this week. The blame game goes to Nuno. The winner of the blame game is
Nuno
the man
where
the buck stops. The buck stops with Nuno. Nuno wins the blame game this week.
Go to jail. Nuno Espirito Santo. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200.
Monopoly. You're going into Monopoly rules. Okay. Cut the music.
It's already finished.
Oh, that's embarrassing then. Right.
Yeah. Well, it might not have done, but we'll see.
Just whatever. So where do we go from here, Matt? Is what I'm saying.
Where do we go from
Chelsea
here?
Next week. We've Chelsea next week away from home. We've just had a really good start up until this weekend. I feel like the last 2 games we've had some refereeing decisions to complain about, and then we're missing Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't know if he gets banned for another game. We'll hear what the FA
what? Because he swore. Say. I mean, why is he maybe getting banned for another game?
I think because maybe what he said afterwards in the Brighton game to the referee.
But this is what I mean. It's so unbearably petty. This bloody industry. Like, what do you mean because of what he said after the game? It's like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? Can they hear themselves? Can they look at themselves?
I know.
What is it? Is it Premier League? Is it Premier League? Is it FA or is it PGMOL? What do they mean? He said something in the corridor. It's like, so flipping what?
In the corridor.
What at the tunnel?
Sorry, it sounds like we're in school and someone's ratting someone
sounds
out.
Like,
and it's gone to the teacher.
It sounds like they're in school. That's my point. It's so unbearably like tunnel vision and narrow-minded and tone deaf. Like, seriously, the football industry needs to get over itself, especially the sort of officiating side of it and the administrative rule makers and just I don't
I don't want to stop you, but I'm going to stop you. I do feel like we've talked a little bit too much about efficiency. So it gets boring after a while.
But you've just said to me, are they? He said something in the tunnel, so we might be getting banned for another game. Like
I didn't say the tunnel. He said something when he was walking off the pitch.
So what?
Okay, I
so
agree.
What?
Yeah, I agree. Why are you arguing with me?
So why the hell might you get banned for another game? Does that not sound mad?
Well,
insanely. I can't swear as much, but
you
picky,
can't swear at all.
Yeah,
you can't swear at all.
It's so picky; it does my head in.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want, I'll kind of see their perspective, and I can be one of the sort of members of the PGMOL or whatever it is, the FA, and talk to you as one of the people in the club as to why your player is getting banned.
Go on then.
Okay, I'm going to try and put my hat on because I'm kind of on your side with this, but I'm going to put their hat on for a second. Is it the FA or the PGMOL, whoever it is, the system? The system.
Yeah, we should really know this if we're going to do it. But go on, the system.
You're a member of the club, and I'm a member of the referees association or the FA or whoever handles it. Right?
Yeah,
I think it's the FA. But anyway, go on.
Hi there.
Thanks for coming in today. I really appreciate you coming in and talking to me about the conduct that took place last week.
Well, you told us to come in, but no problem.
Some people don't turn up. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, and then you find them. And then you find them.
Well, we don't find the top 6, but yeah. Go on. Anyway, thanks for showing up. Opening statement. Is there anything you'd like to say?
No.
You've nothing. There's nothing you want to say.
Just that we need to do this quickly because I've got work to do.
Okay. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, so the charges are that the player was sent off for a dangerous tackle, allegedly off his feet, and then afterwards had words with the assistant. There were some swear words used. There was actually some swear words in the celebration I noticed as well on TV. So,
well, of course.
Just, what do you say to these charges? Do you accept them? Is there an apology?
What are we being charged for?
You're being charged for improper
you just said a few
language.
things. Is it? Let's take bit by bit. 2, he left the ground, potentially aggressive. As you've seen with many professionals, you can't have ignored it unless you're a complete idiot and shouldn't be in the job that you are doing if you haven't seen it. So
who said anything about idiot?
Huh?
You just called me an idiot.
No. If you haven't seen and heard what many professional pundits have said about that incident, that tackle.
Not a great way to start this hearing, but go on.
The hearing's not a great way to do anything. It's pointless. It's like this is the problem.
Well, currently he has a 1-game ban. We're going to try and see if he's going to get a 2-game ban. Are you apologising, or are you putting your case forward, or are you calling me an idiot?
Apologising for what? He's served his ban. He's got his. The second yellow and sending off was the punishment.
There might be another game ban.
Huh?
There might be. There might be another ban.
What for
we
him?
might
for him?
impose that.
Hang on. At what point does someone get a second yellow and a 2-game ban then?
Well, it's just if they do extra improper conduct and they don't answer to us properly. We asked you guys to come back to us Friday. You didn't necessarily come back on time. I'm just trying to.
The club asked for an extension. The club asked for an extension. You granted it. I'm still waiting for a reason.
Someone else must have.
Okay, pedantic. You know what I'm talking about. I'm still waiting for your reason.
You mean semantics, not pedantic.
I'm still. You're being pedantic. Is what I'm saying. It is what I meant, and it is the right word. I'm saying you haven't given me a reason as to why there might be a second ban for Morgan Gibbs-White, other than he went in an arguably aggressive tackle or an arguably brilliant professional tackle. But we've accepted the 1-game ban. He took his second yellow. I'm still waiting for you to give me the substance of why there might be a second ban. Because someone swore? Was there a swear word? Does that upset you?
You've won me over. I think you're right. I don't even think it was a yellow card. Rob Jones said he got the ball initially. The assistant shouldn't have done that. Case closed. Gibbs White's coming back next week. Congratulations.
Ding, 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 ding.
You've just got a bonus.
Can you imagine? Okay, Chris, we've got to close this off.
There is good. Hang on. There's a fairly hefty review corner coming up in a little bit.
You'll do that on the outro. You'll do that on the outro.
Yeah, I know. But I just want to tell you what's next. I'll host it. Remember? You said I was a bad host, and then you did a good job hosting the other day, and now you're back to telling me I'm a bad host, but I'm going to host it anyway. Here's the thing. We just played Fulham. We lost 1-0. It was a very frustrating game. There was referees' decisions we weren't happy with. But in general, every other game I've watched this season, even though I've been frustrated with Wolves, even though I've been frustrated with Bournemouth, I have been happy enough about it because we're in them. Ipswich are celebrating a draw today at Aston Villa. Well done. You've still not won a game. Southampton haven't won a game. Loads of other teams still haven't won a game. Palace lost to Everton. They're not wanting to sack Glasner straight away. Let's all take a step and relax. Recognise and welcome the fact that our away form has turned around, even though our home form is drifting. We've got Chelsea next week. I want you to talk to me a little bit about that game and tell me, are you nervous about it? Are you still happy with our start? And where do we go from here?
I'm glad that Cole Palmer just got his 4 against Brighton.
That means he's not going to score against us.
I don't think... I mean,
Don't.
famous last words.
Don't, because he wasn't in my FPL team. Don't wind me up.
He was in mine.
Go ahead.
Although I had him as a captain before, uncaptained him to finally get Haaland in, and we all know what didn't happen, and I took Gordon out as well. But anyway, we won't go to FPL today, since we can't do Forest Fantasy 5s. Which, if you're listening, is a great game. Get in touch with Chris online. We've got a good league.
Please stop talking
Join in the
about Forest
game.
Fantasy
I'll
5s.
explain the rules to you. Those that are playing, we're having a good time. It's fun. It's a 5-a-side fantasy game.
I think this
specifically
entire
for Forest.
podcast has been us talking about refereeing decisions, me talking about being frustrated about a game
Be
you
careful.
didn't see, and we haven't spoke about Chelsea or where we're going from here.
We're about to carry
why
on with
don't you
Chelsea.
just
Be
tell me
careful,
where we're going
Chris.
from here?
The amount of podcasts that we've done recently where you talk about what you think the podcast has or hasn't been, you listen to it back and you go, oh, actually, it wasn't too negative. Actually, it was all right. Do you know what I mean? So
Have you listened to yourself on 2 of the previous 5 podcasts? One where, by all accounts, you're drunk, and the other, by all accounts, you're still coming down from a boozy weekend. Don't have a go at me when I've showed up. You've showed up, to be fair to you, but in reality, you've done a great job last Thursday. Don't get ahead of yourself. The review corner will show that you've actually done a good job, which is annoying. But I don't want to talk about Forest Fantasy 5s. Tell me where we're going from here. Just tell me what's happening. Tell me how you feel about the team. Tell me if you're worried about our midfield. Tell me if you're worried about our wingers.
I'm kind of writing Chelsea away off. I'm looking at a bigger picture.
No.
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes,
no,
I
you're
am.
not.
Let's
Why?
talk through it. You ask me a question, I give you an answer.
Why
And
are you
go,
writing it off? Why are you writing it off?
Because I think Chelsea are going to be a bit like how I was thinking. Can you honestly see it? The likelihood of Forest going there 2 seasons in a row and getting a win both times, especially with the form that Chelsea are now in, with the players that they have, and the sort of upward trajectory they're now on. Jackson's kicking in. I don't really see Forest going and nicking it. If we do,
you answer.
My goodness,
I'll answer it for you. I'll let you finish and I'll answer it for you. Go.
Well, that's that. That's
well, no, it's not that. It's not that. Because, I can see us going to Chelsea and beating them at the Bridge. We beat them last season. We drew with them the season before. They are shaky. Sure, it's us versus Palmer right now, but ultimately they're mentally weak, particularly against us. Jackson, Palmer, very good players, on form, that's fine. But we might get Gibbs White back. Don't know yet. Don't know. And also, we might get our form back. Hudson-Odoi, Elanga, start them, go at them, and just see what happens. Fireworks, chaos, do it.
Yeah, Hudson-Odoi would love to. He would. I mean, he did it at Anfield. Wouldn't it be on a personal level something huge for him to do the same sort of thing at Stamford Bridge with his history with that club? Yeah, mate. So you asked me a question, then you jumped on the answer. Fair enough. I really admire your conviction. If you are right and get this right, I will be. I won't be annoyed if you're right about this one because it would be unbelievable. And I'm going to believe. I haven't
predicted anything yet, but
I have to believe that we can beat them. I'm just telling you.
You've just put words in my mouth. Sorry, I haven't predicted anything yet. My prediction will come in the pre-match. I'm just saying.
You like to take a week to think about it because you haven't got.
No, well, I like to get near the time. I like to see what Chelsea have done on Thursday when they play that Europa Conference game. I like to see everything. I like to see if we have Gibbs White back. Big factors. Yeah, I do like to do that. Sorry.
Well, hopefully. You asked me how I could see the game going. I just think, I think we got to work towards the next 4 games. I was saying on our group earlier to Statsman and Will, I want 7 points out of the next 4.
Happy birthday to Statsman Will, by the way. Happy birthday to him.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I know we wished it to him earlier. I know that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, you just want to do it publicly.
Well, some people know him because he's been on the show and they quite like him.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
That's fine.
You're meant to be closer to him than I am. Doesn't seem
Oh
like
no,
that way.
I'm far closer to him than you are. I'm just saying I wished him happy birthday on his birthday. Now you're going, look, come on.
Come on. Look, the group of next games. Okay, let's go through those next few games.
Chelsea
and then
away.
We'll get the review corner and we'll get out of here. Okay. So
Chelsea
the group,
away.
Huh?
Chelsea away.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it out in case you mess it up. Or do you
Okay,
want to do it?
No, read it out. You go.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. So I'll get it up here. Nottingham Forest. Right. So it's Chelsea away, like you said, obviously. Then there's an international break. Okay. Then we come back and we play Palace at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you expect to win that game?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we play Leicester away. Should be getting a win there. We're better than them.
Interesting
All right.
dynamics, but yeah.
Our away form is good our away form is good. And then
They'll
we
be
West
pinning
Ham.
us. Cooper and Leicester will be pinning us as a day for a result, but yeah.
And then we've West Ham home.
Now, with where we are now, we need to win that because we need to earn back our stripes from screwing up at home to Bournemouth and Wolves. So yeah, we need to beat West Ham at home.
So the real question becomes then.
I want 2 wins from the next 4 and then a draw.
Yeah, you want two from the next 4, and I agree with you. So Chelsea away, Palace at home, Leicester away, West Ham at home. We should be getting 6 points from those 4. And in any season, actually, I would want that. Do you agree?
Yeah, that's why I want 7. I'd like it if we could get 2 wins, then a minimum of a draw and a lose. And anything more than that is a complete bonus. Anything less than that, and actually we're still going to be all right, but we're going to be coming back down to earth. That Fulham game was like the beginning of us going, oh yeah, getting put back in our place. A little bit.
A little bit. I'm still okay, but yeah.
Little old us. Little old Nottingham Forest.
Stop. Speaking of put black in their place, what did you think of Man United getting absolutely hammered by Spurs? Your second team, Spurs.
Yeah, Brennan Johnson getting the goal. That was good to see. United.
And the assist. He got an assist
you hate
as well.
United a lot more than me.
Look, my thing is very clear. I got a message in a WhatsApp group full of United fans earlier from a friend of mine, shout out to Colhane, he'll be listening to this, saying, oh, we have to beat Spurs because Brennan Johnson plays. He was slagging off an ex-Forest player to try and get at me. He uses every single angle. Within 2 minutes, Brennan Johnson scored a goal. 20 minutes, Brennan Johnson's hit the post. 46 minutes or whatever it is, he's got an assist. He tore them to shreds in Old Trafford, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, you should feel that way too. And that's 4-4 for Brennan. Spurs fans don't know what they have. Hit the music. I'm going for a review corner. Hit the music.
Yeah, no, I have.
Oh, okay. I mean, there's
I do it
so
with my
many
mind.
here. We've got Psycho was back. Another good listen. Something for the review corner. When Matt states he's been trying to coach you for years, but to no avail, maybe it's time to reflect on his coaching skills. Just a curious thought, as in coach me being a host. We've got
He clearly
Savraj.
doesn't know you at all.
We've got Savraj saying, just listening to the latest episode. This was a couple of weeks ago, actually. Great work as always. Feedback from me. Matt's accents are hilarious. All of them. He needs to keep going. That's annoying. That was from a couple of weeks ago. He's giving you
nice.
credit.
That's nice. We should write some more scripts and do some more character stuff, maybe.
Waste of time. Forest Fan TV, Wolverine, I saw this and I'm going to put it out there because you'll like this. Best episode yet. This is Forest Fan TV. Ross was great. This is from but the host was so much better this week than previous episodes.
Yes.
Doesn't end there. Mr. Rolling In podcast host was brilliant this
Wait,
week.
Wolverine there.
No, but I know. Yeah, I know. Just rubbing
Slam
salt
dunk.
on the moon.
Absolutely. I hope I've
And-
done him proud this week. He's one of the only people that knows what it's like to be in my corner dealing with you. And like
Well,
the
to be fair,
first
I'll
review
give
corner
Wolverine-
don't get it when they say
I'm
might
actually
have.
I'm actually going to give Wolverine a shout out because he's promoted us on Forest Fan TV. I've noticed quite a lot, and I want to give him a big shout out for that. I know all the other podcasts do it for us as well because we're the worst one, aren't we? Let's be honest.
Well, I wouldn't say we're the worst.
We're the
one.
worst one, and no, a
We're
big
not the
shout
worst.
out
We're
to
just
Wolverine for doing that.
we're
But can I
bottom
keep going with the
feeders.
review corner?
You're a YouTube whore, as it were.
Shut up!
But no, you got to thank all of those guys, the big players.
I know.
They
I
put
honestly,
in way more work than us.
Listen, Red Side of the Trends
really
have had me on.
Really good
Wolverine
shows.
from Forest Fan TV support us. We've missed rolling in, always reposting my stuff, and then
Yeah.
you Forest Focus. Obviously, Matt Davies takes me on. I don't know why he brings me on. He's great as well. So
I
shout out to all
suppose
of them,
if we were any good, because of all the support we've had, we should be doing a lot better.
I know, it's so
You've got the biggest players
ridiculous.
giving you a leg up.
It must mean what we're doing is bad, right? Now, listen.
We can't call it
Mr.
bad. It's just pathetic. Is what it is. But it's fine.
You're pathetic for stopping the review corner. Missed Rolling In podcast host was brilliant this week. Took the podcast to a higher level. That's JJ. That's embarrassing once again. Bruce from Texas. Move aside. We have a new podcast host.
Wow.
I mean, there's just too many.
I did not know this stuff was going down.
This one's good. This one helps me. This is Richard Spray from Talking Reds, another Forest podcast. It's all the Forest podcasts here. But watching the latest episode, why is Matt so damn salty? This is not the last one, the one before it. He reminds me of my son when he just wants to be in a SH1T mood and give people crap. So he pulls his hoodie over his head. Sith style. Love it. I mean, you were like a moody teenager. You were like a moody teenager.
What? When I pull my hoodie over my head?
Yeah, because you were complaining and we were undefeated after Brighton, but I'm not going to get into that. We still have more of these.
Yeah. He's probably right.
Who else?
I have to do something, though. What I remember is people complaining about me apparently complaining. If I just go, yeah, we're doing well, then actually it'll be easy. We could do a 2-minute podcast and I could be out of here.
Here's another one.
I was finding talking points.
I know.
Sorry if my hood offended anyone.
Shut up. Let's finish on this. Matt, I know you love playing the villain, but it's becoming unbearable. This is not the last one. The last one you were very good on, but it's becoming unbearable. It's the one before. There's so
playing
much to
the villain.
There's so much. Stop. There's so much to feel good about right now, and you still seem to manage to put it down on things. This was when we were undefeated. Chris, love the continuous optimism, and you're the reason I'll continue to listen. That is from Taylor. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you.
All right, we'll do a Taylor
vindication.
and Chris versus Wolverine and me.
No, hang on.
If you want.
This is my favourite bit. This is the best bit of it all.
I love it,
Do you know
playing
what
the
best bit
villain.
Because
Taylor,
Matt,
I invite you to come
hang
and
on.
join me dealing
No.
with this guy.
Hang on. Matt responds to that.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I?
You responded to that quote saying, I agree. Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're kind of joking. But this is the best bit. Someone else responded afterwards saying, I like Matt's dare approach. It works really well with Chris. Good cop, bad cop. I reach out to Matt saying he's got a nice comment on it. And Matt goes, that was you. You paid someone to do it. Like, who am I paying to do it? Like, I didn't put anyone up to it. So, see, someone thinks we're good cop. Someone thinks we're bad cop. It's okay. Life goes on. We've got
I can't
a
believe
newcomer
you
to the
talk
podcast.
about it. You're just talking about comments now.
But that's what this is all about.
Okay.
Bahamas. Seems like Chris isn't so crucial to the podcast after all. Great listen, fellas. Enjoy the game, Ross. And then Matt Davies, this is for you, Matt Davies. I've seen the start of the app where Matt explains he got a stat totally wrong. So he's already matching me stride for stride there. Because remember you mentioned you got the stat wrong about Fulham and Forest playing 17
that was
games.
weird. I did. Why am I matching him though? Another
He's saying that he gets things wrong as well. He's on your side. Like
no. I got that. But I'm trying to. As he famously quoted something wrong. He's
probably quoted a few things wrong. He does so much content that you can't. It's hard to keep up. And his point is, it happens. It's not a big deal.
Okay. That's reassuring. It's reassuring.
Well, here's not reassuring.
From one of the
I've got
biggest
three
players.
things you messed up last week. First of all, you thought Ross was the one who jumped in the lake after Yates had scored. And
you told me he was. You told me he was.
No, I didn't. Ross was in the lake wakeboarding. Chief Ryan from Barstool, he was the one that jumped in the lake when Ryan Yates scored and predicted it in a red hot take. So you got that wrong. You also called me Christopher. You called me Christopher at the beginning of the episode. I didn't like it. It was smarmy. It was disrespectful. It is my name. But only my mother, my wife, and my father call me Christopher. That's it.
I am probably the next person, other than your brother, to be in that list, though. So I'm going to reclaim my permission to use that. You've said Matthew so many times. Move on.
Fair enough. Yeah, sorry. Look, the other thing was, you said we played Fulham 17 times. You got a stat randomly off the internet. You said it with such conviction. You put your glasses on with your, and you laid it out on the table. So, yeah, we didn't.
Very funny.
We didn't play them 17 times. We played them like 106 times or something prior to that. I think it was 17 times since 2004 or something. I don't know where you got it from. But, yeah, You made 3 big mistakes. You said you're the best host, and you're not. Anything to say?
I never said I was the best host, Chris.
Okay, and with that,
Other
we'll
people
stop
have
the
said.
show.
Other people have said.
All right, well, everyone, I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been a mismatch
Yeah.
of nonsense as usual.
I look forward
really
to hearing
sorry.
you around the world pre-Chelsea episode, and I really hope that we can get a win there, mate. Disappointed
Brilliant.
with the Fulham result, but it was pretty boring as well. 1-0. Ugh.
Okay, let's cut it there. Let's go get a result at Chelsea. We'll be fine. Everyone, don't panic. Horrible game this weekend. You're allowed to be angry about it, but we're going to be A-okay. Say goodbye, Matt.
Goodbye, everyone. See you later. See you later, Chris.
Bye-bye.